Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us at today's Cybersecurity and NIS2 webinar. My name is David, and I'll be guiding you throughout today's session. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask during the webinar. The Q&A session will actually be held at the end of the webinar, and all of your questions will be answered there. And to begin with, it's good to mention what Alveo does and what it does not do. We are not a cybersecurity consulting firm. We won't really help you write guidelines or define what is a regulated service in your business, etc. But what we can help you with is then translating those papers in the form of directives, regulations, and processes into day-to-day operations. But just really quickly, who actually are we? Well, in essence, we are a Microsoft 365 centric ITSM and IT asset management vendor from the Czech Republic, and we will show you how to use Alveo Asset Management and Service Desk to manage the requirements that ISO 27001, NIS2, or DORA impose on you. And here we have some of the main integrations from the M365 ecosystem that Alveo integrates with. And I would say the most popular of them would be Power BI, Teams, Intune, and Power Automate. Next up, we have an extremely important moment for our team. We've been highlighted during the last Microsoft Ignite conference by the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella himself. So it's always great to get some recognition in this space. And as for certificates, we will share with you our experience in cybersecurity. And Alveo as a company has ISO 27001. We also have ISO 27017, 27018, SOC 2 Type 2, and we are also a part of G-Cloud. And because we provide Alveo as a service, we want to clearly declare that we do it responsibly and securely. And all of these security requirements result in us going throughout audits to prove that we are actually really doing it. And in today's webinar, we're going to show you a couple of things that we do when dealing with cybersecurity. But before we get into that, I just wanted to mention one more thing that is very important in order to realize the full complexity of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity itself is like the top of the pyramid, and to get to the top of the pyramid, the bottom layers actually need to be strong and completely secure. And as the very foundation of this all would be IT service management, that is putting processes in place such as incident management, problem management, change, and other processes. And hand in hand with that is the requirement to have things in order, because without knowing what you're taking care of, you really can't even protect those things. And without further ado, let me introduce you to Kate, who is our information security analyst, I should say, here at Alveo, and she will show you the practical examples. And the floor is yours, Kate.
Thank you for the introduction, David, and good morning from me as well. So for security reasons, I will not be showing you our live Alveo, but I will be showing you the demo environment that I set up based on our internal experience, customer feedbacks, and also feedbacks from auditors. So without further ado, I will just share my screen. In Alveo, we use our service desk as a single point of contact, and for that we use our service catalog. This is here, you can see all of our services, and we don't not use it just for IT requests, but for managing tickets and requests throughout the whole company. And as you can see here, cybersecurity is red so that no one can overlook it, and everyone knows where to go for security services. So if we click on it, we can also see here the sub-services such as security incident and events and incidents, or for example, GDPR and NDAs. Me as a regular user Veronica here, I see only the security events and incidents, and I would, if I have some suspicious activity, I would just go on and log it into this service. I do not need to know if it's an event or incident. This is up to the classification is up to the agent from security team. So let's look at how we would report malicious activity. So for example, I am having problem with fraudulent mail. I think it's phishing. So I will just put it in the ticket name. And also I can put all of the information that I received there. I can also do screenshots from my email and simply put it into the description so that the agent then knows what to look for, what happened, and so on. I will simply just create a ticket. And when that is done, we can look further how we would solve it.
All right. Let me just quickly jump in, Kate. For me as a normal user, it's great that it's in one place actually. The moment if it was split, so the IT requirements would be here, but security would be using a different tool. It would be terribly confusing and would lead to me not really creating the ticket rather than creating it. And back to you.
Okay, thank you. So now I am signed in as James, the agent. I can look at all the tickets that are already in the system, which are assigned for solution or my tickets. But now I'm interested in the security events and incidents. So I just quickly go to the security events tab, and I now see here the ticket from Veronica. By clicking on it, I can self-assign it and become the agent of this ticket. And now I can just look at what happened. So Veronica said that there's suspected phishing, but she didn't click on anything. So we know that it was security event, but not really incident because she didn't log into system with her company login or anything. So we can just say, okay, nothing happened and resolve it. We will write to Veronica that we thank her for her time and for being responsible, and that we can look further if the situation evolves, and with that we would resolve the ticket. But you may ask, what is the advantage of reporting phishing or spam to service desk and not only to Outlook with the button that is already there? For us, it shows us all the tickets that are related, like for example 10 people who reported the same phishing email. We can all see this in one place. And if it was, for example, some sophisticated phishing, we can also go to creating incident or sending our users group mail with warning that this happens, or even create a current new that would show here, and every user would be notified that something is happening and they need to be careful. So furthermore, when we look at the security events, we can also see the tickets from monitoring system. We use Microsoft Sentinel, for example, but you can also use Zabbix. We have a connector to Zabbix. So if we look at, for example, this ticket about multiple fate login, we can see it in more detail by clicking on the button there. So we can see here all the details, like what host has a problem, what happened. So there were failed login attempts, and if it's severity, so it's critical. So we know that we have to really solve it right away. Because our service desk is connected to our asset management, we also see here at the objects tab the object that was part of this ticket that's connected to it. If we clicked on it, we would see all the information about this object, but we don't need to see that now. For us, more interesting is this assistant tab. So that's AI assistant, and we can quickly see here the summary of the ticket, what happened, if it should be moved to another service. We can see here that it's in the correct service. Also, we see all the similar tickets to this one. And the most important for us here is the major incident score. So it's 95%. So we know that it's a really really big problem, probably a severe incident. And we also see what is influenced. So it's the server and also other related services and assets. Furthermore, if you have a knowledge base with possible solutions there, in this part there would be the knowledge bases, and the agent would know what to do. And also the AI generates other solutions as well. So if you are lost at what to do, you can quickly look at what the AI assistant offers you as a solution. So that's for assistant. And furthermore, we also can look at the CMDB diagram and look at how all of the things are connected, not only from the cybersecurity point of view, but also from the business side. So if we look at the server 11, which was affected, it's a supporting asset in the NIS2 language. We can see that if something happens, we also the customer payment data are influenced, which is a big problem. But if we go drill even further, we get to a business application FinApp, and we can see who the guarantor of the app is. So for example, here Veronica is the expert guarantor, and James Smith, aka me, I am the technical guarantor. So I know that I didn't do anything with the server, but I am not sure about Veronica. So I would ask Veronica what happened with the server, but for that I can quickly just click on her avatar here, and I see the phone number right away. So I would give a call to Veronica and ask, hello, do you know what happened to server 11? And she can, for example, tell me that she just tried to sign in, log into the server, but she just forgot her her password. So we would just simply log into the ticket log that we called to Veronica, that she just forgot her password. The call was for Veronica. And with that, we would say, okay, nothing happened again, and we can just resolve this ticket. But we wanted to show you also how to create the incident. So let's look at that and pretend that Veronica doesn't know anything about what happened. We click on the create incident button, and we can also copy the values from the previous ticket. So from the ticket that is linked to this one. So we get it's in the service security incident. There's the name that was also on the event ticket, and we just classified that it was cybersecurity and that someone tried to log into our system or server. The object is already linked here, so we know what object is influenced again by this incident, and we quickly create the ticket. The incident. Now we are here, and we can just quickly look at the workflow. So we would assess the incident, then also do the incident response, and in the end, if you need to, you can do corrective measures so that the incidents don't happen in the future.
In the process, I can actually see corrective measures, and I can also see the create RFC or request for change button. So now we're back from cybersecurity to IT service management, because any change has to actually be managed, and that's what we really have change management for. So let's take it a step further and go to vendor management. Kate, how do you manage vendors?
Sure. So for that, we also have services in our service catalog. As you said, we have to do vendor management because of ISO 27001, NIS2, and also SOC 2. So we have our service here and also sub-services for the whole life cycle of our vendors. So from onboarding through assessment, changes, and also up to contract termination. And if something isn't working correctly, also exception handling. But if we look at the vendors themselves, we have them as objects in our asset management. And if I go to one vendor, I can see all of the important data and properties of this vendor. So of course, name, then the department, phone, email, but also the important parts about for cybersecurity, if they have access to our protected information, if we signed NDA with them, and if so, when did we sign it? And also we have to do regular checks and assessments of our vendors. So when was the last assessment date? That this date helps us because the system automatically can create tickets based on these dates. So for example, if we know that we have to do the assessment yearly, a month before the year is up, the system automatically creates a ticket for next assessment, and we don't need to think about it. It just does it for ourselves. So if we look at all the related tickets to this vendor, we can see that there was a name change and also the assessment, but everything else would be also logged here, from all the exceptions, all the onboardings, changes, and everything. We can quickly look at one of the tickets for vendors. So I would not solve it now, but let's just look at the workflow. So in the assessment, we do contract checklist, also performance check. So if the SLAs and KPIs are met, and also we have to check if the company or the vendor is compliant with our security policy and security requirements. So we send them security assessment questionnaire, or we require ISO certificates or SOC certificates and so on. And also if something have changed during the year of the from the last assessment, we also can update our risk analysis during this process. If during any of these stages something doesn't add up, we can go to exceptional status, issues found, and we would create a child request to exceptions. And if there are any exceptions, this whole ticket for the assessment cannot be resolved, because we can't close the ticket before every child request is solved. So I can't say that I finished all the assessment, but I still have 3 exceptions there. That's not possible for us. Furthermore, if we would try to resolve this ticket, we also have to check that we went through the stages, so that we updated the risk analysis, that we have some certificates or the questionnaire from the vendor regarding security, and so on. So that's everything about the assessment is now in the ticket, and it's a complete trail for audits. So we don't have to go anywhere outside of service desk for that.
All right, thank you for showing us that, Kate. And now I think we can have a look at the next step, which would be the management of permissions.
Okay, so I will just quickly go to the regular user Veronica again. And if I, well, we need to, we need to address the access control and also ad hoc requests for additional rights from different users, because we have to have it everything locked, so that we know who has access where. Also, when they are leaving, for example, what access we need to revoke. And for that, we have again services with processes that are with processes for these services. Sorry again. And as a regular user, I would just go to the service desk, to the service catalog, and I would just look for access if I need. Sorry, if I need some access, I can see here that I can ask for physical access or for access to Microsoft Dynamics. And it's just easily, I will just create a ticket and we can just show it. I would just quickly go through all the steps, create a ticket, and then it would go to the solver. So if we look at as the agent now, if we look at the tickets from the access requests, so for example, if Veronica needs access to Prague offices, you can see that there is approval process which was initiated automatically. So right away when Veronica asks for the access somewhere. Her manager, for example, gets the ticket to approve it or reject it. And once the manager does the approval, first then the IT personnel gets to this request and they actually give Veronica or don't give Veronica the access rights. So it doesn't overload the IT personnel because they don't get the ticket right away, and it first go for the approval. If we wanted to, we could also automate the whole process with Power Automate, and then such a request would automatically be resolved once the approval process is finished. That way, again, everything is in the tickets, everything is ready for audits, and we don't have to go anywhere else to look who has rights where to Excel or some other spreadsheets and so on.
Okay, thank you, Kate. I think the time is pressing us a little bit. We have 10 minutes left. So let's move on to the last point, and that is our audit experience.
Okay, so in addition to the things already shown, which we also use for the audits, we are also, the auditors are usually interested in our regular checks and trainings and so on. And for that, we have created ticket templates. So we check, we do annual penetration tests of our new versions. We do employee trainings or also monthly information security checks. And we also test our backup and business continuity plans. And if we look at one of these, for example, this information security and data privacy training for new employees, if we look at the template itself, you can see that we have here the template name, but also which service and which ticket name would be created. So the ticket with this name is always created into this service based on this template. And also you can put their description. So for example, if a new employee comes who has to solve this ticket, they know what to do because it's already in the description. And we can also decide on the SLA and assign it right away to us, to an agent. So that's one thing that you can do with the ticket templates, but you can also schedule a regular creation of tickets based on this template. So if we go to the creation, there's the requester and also how often you want to repeat the creation of the ticket. So you can choose daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly, then what day of month it will happen on. And also if you want to create the requests indefinitely or just for 5 occurrences, for example, it's you might know this kind of scheduling from Outlook, for example, because it's similar to that. So yeah, that would be for the audits. And also, like I already said multiple times, it was really easy for us to prepare for audits because we had everything in one place, in our service desk, in our catalog, in our tickets, in objects, and we didn't have to move between 5 different systems to find the data we need for the audits.
Thanks, Kate. And would you actually mind sharing with us what do auditors always ask you? If that's something.
Yeah, so furthermore, I know that they are also really interested in our HR agenda. So for example, with the access rights, like how do we how are we what's our process for when a new employee comes or they leave, and how do we solve these problems with the access rights just hanging somewhere, or so that we don't forget to take back our hardware and so on. So for that we have a process that when, for example, a new employee comes, we can look at yeah, here's James Wick. So let's just look at the first ticket. Sorry, just a sec. So here is a new employee, James Wick. We can again look at it in big detail. And if we create a ticket for the new employee, there are sub-tickets that are again automatically created based on what we need for the employee, what access cards he should get, or sorry, she or he should get, also which hardware. So for example, here James Wick would get also mobile phone, and then when the employee leaves, there's a similar process again, so we know what to get back from the user. And also, so that would be for the HR agenda. And also I know that a lot of auditors are interested in how do we manage passwords. So how do we handle the login and sign in into Alvo? And for that, we offer a link with Microsoft Enter ID. So the users can actually sign in without using passwords. So passwordless sign in. And this saves the IT department the time and trouble of having to always reset different passwords and solving these requests. But it most importantly, it's much more secure than just using passwords, because you can also use multi-factor, and this is most of the time now it's actually really required to use multi-factor. So that's yeah, that's from us.
And I think from the practical side of things, that would be all. So we can now have a look at the questions if there are any. Let's see. I don't see any questions, so I don't know if it's good or bad. But thanks everyone for joining today's webinar. We hope you found it inspiring. And if you're dealing with NIS2 DORA or ISO 27001, we will be happy to help you out. And you can actually apply directly for a trial and of the solution via the QR code, which you can see on the screen right now. Or you can go to our website, or you can also apply for a trial via Microsoft App Source. And if you'd like to see more, you can always contact me or Kate. We also have a YouTube channel with great overview videos, or you can visit our website and ask directly for a custom tailored demo along with the pricing by one of our colleagues. And I think this is really it from me and Kate, and we hope to see you again during other webinars. We have one planned for next week, actually, with the law firm EIP based in London, where we will show you how they transform their ITSM with our help. And this is really it. So thank you and have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.